Welcome back to Best Bits. Today we're going to be taking a look at UFC Fight Night Vancouver, Reinier versus Brendan Allen. What a strange night of fights, what a bizarre set of circumstances, what strange judges' decisions, what strange reffing decisions, what low IQ from fighters, what steroids are we taking, guys? Look, we're going to get into it all. First fight of the night, Melissa Croden versus Tainara Lisboa. That's Melissa Cronenberg versus Tainara the Lizard Lisboa. I had the Lizard. I thought Lisboa would get it done. I really did. You know, she looks a bit lizard-like. I thought that reptilian spirit, that cold-bloodedness would get her through. But nah, man, she got worked by a Canadian. I did say in my prediction video that Canada's women are probably better than Canada's men when it comes to fighting. And I think this is something that we all really know and we all generally accept. I couldn't, you know, we couldn't see this coming, though. You know, we couldn't see this coming. A couple of fumbles with finishing Lisboa. But Cronenberg manages to get it done. Cronenberg disease, Melissa Cronenberg disease manages to get it done. Turns into a Cronenberg monster, all hideous and deformed, and absolutely smashes Lisboa from the top position. On to the next one. It's Azamat Bekov versus Yusuri Belgrui. I had Bekov, to be honest with you. I thought Bekov by TKO, and in the first round I felt like we nearly got that, and then from that moment on it was all Belgrui. Just Bekov couldn't address the range. He couldn't really. He was getting inside, but he couldn't do anything when he did get inside, and then he was just taking damage as Belgrui reset and exited, or he was just running into jabs on long straight shots. Every time he was trying to enter. So yeah, absolute masterclass from Belgrui, just using his range, and you don't see a lot of fighters just use their range. Like, it's one thing that you see a guy who's super tall and he's trying to fight in the pocket, and you're like, nah, man, just play long game. So yeah, Belgrui, really well done, decent display of IQ. I know we were talking about bad IQ, but that comes later. But brilliant display of IQ from Belgrui. Yeah, not much more to say about it. A bit disappointed. I had Bekov by knockout, by TKO. Didn't manage to get that one. This was a good night for underdogs, okay? This was a really good night for underdog picks, and I actually didn't have that. I know I normally have quite a few underdogs. The one time I don't have quite a few underdogs. I was talking about it as well. I was like, yeah, he's an underdog, but you know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Next fight, Stephanie Lucindo versus Ravina Oliveira. I thought Ravina Oliveira would get done in the first round. She managed to go to the third. A lot of third round finishes, a lot of decisions in this card on this set of fights on this card. Yeah, the cards. I thought she'd get done like round 1, round 2. She managed to make it to the third against Lucindo. I don't rate her either particularly highly. I just thought Oliveira would be particularly worse. But no, it was a decent back and forth. Lucindo chokes a couple of times on a finish. It was kind of comical. But in the end, manages to get the rear naked choke on Ravina Oliveira. Yeah, not much more to say about that one either, to be honest with you. Decent fight, not super entertaining, but we got a finish out of the women, and that's a lot to ask of the women's fighters. A lot of these lower ranked women fighters don't have the power to finish. They don't have the technique to get the finish. And obviously you get into the third, second round, you're slippery, you're sweaty. It's harder to latch up those submissions, even for the men as well. So it was good to see the women getting another finish on the card, actually. Next up, a mad one. I was going to come out and say I think some of these Brazilians are back on the steroids. I was saying in my prediction video, you've got Canada, down here, America just above them, and then maybe a rung or two above that is Brazil. I think we need to start moving Brazil further up this ladder. I think the new testing organization is a bit lax, and these Brazilians are getting away with juicing again. Because who would have thought Santos would have beat Danny Barlow, right? I thought Danny Barlow won the fight actually on the scorecards. I'd have to go back and watch it because I am biased, so I'm coping right now. But I thought Danny Barlow had it in the bag. Santos just kept pushing, unreasonably kept pushing, and I was just like, man, you know what? These guys are back on the roids, aren't they? No one told me, but they're back on the roids. Anyway, yeah, another example of this. Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva's fucking trash. Bruno Silva's been trash forever, like since the beginning. Bruno Silva's been awful, and then we swap from USADA, and he starts getting some wins. He starts pushing it a bit harder. Something suspicious is going on. I don't know what's going on. This is all allegedly, by the way. None of this is factual. I have no evidence for this. This is just opinion based. Allegedly. I think allegedly. I'm alleging. Perhaps. Not for certain that the Brazilians are on the roids. Because Bruno Silva, in my experience, is absolutely trash. But you know what? Maybe I'm just a jinx because every time I seem to pick a Korean fighter, they lose. I don't know if you've noticed the trends, but I want these Korean the fighters from Asia, to be honest. In general, I like the scrambles and I love the guts and the boxing, and I want to see them do well. So I keep picking these Koreans and Japanese guys to do really well, and then they just get leathered. So yeah, bizarre one. Bruno Silva, another guy I'm suspecting is on the roids, and that's my cope. Deal with it. Next up, a guy whose name I can't say, the Mongolian marauder Aulateng, Kualateng, absolutely chinned Cody Gibson. Kualateng, a guy I thought was more of a point scoring, tippy tappy, kind of in and out kickboxing style guy. No, it comes out and just sparked Cody Gibson out cold. Just chins him. Chins Cody Gibson. Fight's over immediately, 21 seconds in. What a bizarre night. This is what I'm saying. It was a strange night, and it was a good night for the underdogs. I'm telling you, really good night for the underdogs. Yeah, so Kualateng, whose name I can't say, Ola Kualateng, Kuleng, Oroli Kuleng, sure, why not? Oh, that's how you say it. Brilliant performance, 21-second knockout. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Next up, Drew Dober versus Kyle Propolek. What a mad fight that was. What a strange one. So, good back and forth. Kyle Propolek had me worried for Drew Dober. I'm not going to lie. Kyle Propolek seems to be winning the fight, in my opinion. I think Drew Dober probably wins round 1. Round 2's up in the air. And then it came down to round 3. And I think Drew Dober had lost the point going into round 3, the start of round 3, or maybe it was the end of round 2. And he was docked a point. And it was kind of like, this is do or die. And Drew Dober came out like vintage Drew Dober. And just put it on Kyle Propolek. Kyle Propolek, who was, before that moment, Serge and was doing well. So yeah, you know, I'm fairly sure there was a foul in there, which resulted in a point taken. Which is another strange one because we have a point taken from Drew Dober for an accidental foul. Not really super detrimental on the outcome of the fight, realistically, when we look at it. And then later on, we have some madness where they're not taking points. We'll get to it though. We'll get to it. Drew Dober manages to rally in the third after a pretty tough fight, and he manages to pull out the dog, release the dog in him, get the dog in him. You know, Drew Dober started to see him black, and you know he just started fighting that little bit harder. Moving on, we'll end on that. Jesus. Kyle Nelson versus Matt Frivola. I had Kyle Nelson by knockout. I had Kyle Nelson by knockout quite early as well. I said Matt Frivola. I said Kyle Nelson had Matt Frivola's number. I felt like I was right about that. Matt Frivola 100% got chinned, got dropped, and got ground and pound finished in round 1. The fight got stopped 3 seconds early, 3 seconds before the end of the round. It got stopped. The referee said, "Oh no, that was the end of the round." That was the end of the round. That wasn't. I heard the horn. I stopped the fight. That was the end of the round. The fight's not over. We're going into round 2. What? Kyle Nelson's dumped all of his adrenaline. He's been on top of the world. He just thought he won that fight in the first round perfectly cleanly over Matt Frivola, a guy with a pretty big head, a pretty hard head to crack. But yeah, Kyle Nelson had done it. You know, he's celebrating. The ref's like, "No, it's not over. It's not over. The fight's not over. They're ready for round 2. It's like, oh shit. You know, he's had the adrenaline dump and now he's all like, oh. So it was a tough round 2. It was a tough start to round 2. And then he started to get back into his rhythm and he manages to take over towards the end of round 2 and into round 3. He was robbed of a finish. He was robbed of a beautiful TKO finish. Dropped him, folded him down with the ground and pound. Absolutely brilliant, if you ask me. A robbery. It was strange, like I say, strange ref. And what a strange night, just strange thing after strange thing. On to the next one. We had Charles Jourdain versus Davy Grant. Devastated. I was devastated for Davy Grant. Oh, my boy Davy Grant got absolutely annihilated. He got So 3 flying knees. So there was 1 flying knee from Charles Jourdain, and it landed to the body of Davy Grant. And I think he was just kind of testing the reactions of Davy Grant. Couple of minutes later, he throws another one, and it hits Davy Grant in the head, and Davy kind of rolls with it and kind of negates some of the damage. But it's clean, and it's landed twice now. It's landed once to the body as like a short close the distance, and it's landed once to the head as kind of a flashy, like, look at this, boom. And you can tell now Davy Grant's hit, and Davy Grant's tough, man, eating heavy shots as well, repeatedly between these knees. But it was really the knees that really opened up Davy Grant. Davy Grant was clean and technical, and then he eat a knee, and then he changed to address it, and that's when he'd get exploited by Charles Jourdain. Really excellent game plan from Charles Jourdain is to kind of hit Davy Grant so that he wants to score, because that's what Davy Grant does. Davy Grant gets hit and he wants to score back, so Charles Jourdain was hitting him and then being ready to counter his counter. So it was very good, very technical game plan from Charles Jourdain. Vicious as well, vicious attacks. Comes to the third knee, jumps up there, manages to pull Davy Grant's head down into it a little bit as well. Just absolutely blasts Davy Grant. Davy Grant drops, but he's not out. He's not out cold. He's still got some fight in him. But Charles Jourdain latches up that guillotine, man, and finishes the fight. Submission style. What a fight. It sucks for Davy Grant. He was messed up bad from those knees. But it was an entertaining fight. Really entertaining fight. It was good to see. It's a shame for Davy Grant. It's a shame for my picks. But, you can't win them all. You can't win them all, Davy. And, Davy Grant, still, let's give him his flowers, okay? Davy Grant, still sick. Still, ate those shots like a champ. And he's lost 4 fights in the UFC? That's not that bad. Against decent competition. Charles Jourdain showed a really, really good game plan. So, let me cope a little bit. Let me cope a little bit about my Davy Grant pick. My boy Davy. Next up was Manon Fiorot versus Jasmine Judavicius. We had Jasmine Judavicius. I thought, you know what? Canada's going to win this one. We're going to win the other ones, but Canada's going to win this one. And then Jasmine Judavicius lets me down. Gets absolutely dismantled inside of a round. Gets absolutely ripped apart, annihilated, embarrassed by Manon Fiorot. I'm going to have to start putting some respect on Manon Fiorot's name, because you know what? That was embarrassing from Jazz, and she got embarrassed by Fiorot. She just got absolutely embarrassed, humiliated, and finished. So yeah, just kind of pathetic, to be honest. Throwing these limp, loopy punches was Jasmine Judavicius, and then just crashing in and hugging up and trying to clinch on the fence. It was pathetic. So I'm glad it ended nice and fast. Brilliant first round finish, brilliant first round TKO from Manon Fiorot. So we're happy for that, even if it went against my prediction. Next up, we had Marlon Vera versus Aiemann Zahabi. What a strange fight again. What a strange fight. Aiemann Zahabi, perfect game plan, to be honest with you. Tippy tappy. I think he lost the fight, though. Round one, Marlon Vera dealt more damage, so the scoring criteria is damage. First round goes to Cheeto. However, it was very close, and Aiemann Zahabi landed a fair bit more significant strikes, or landed a fair few more strikes than Marlon Vera. Just Marlon Vera hits harder. So it was kind of one of them situations where it's like, In round two, those scores kind of even up a bit more. And again, I felt like Cheeto was doing a bit more damage than Aiemann Zahabi was. Aiemann Zahabi being a bit more technical with it, being a bit more fluid with it, and you can tell he was wearing more of the damage. He was wearing that damage way more than Marlon Vera. Marlon Vera, again, coming out of this fight just not looking that injured. But yeah, into round two. Again, decent little back and forth. Aiemann Zahabi being more technical, keeping it technical. Marlon Vera just kind of trying to pressure and hurt him. And there was a moment where I think Vera got hurt. I think he got touched and he was on the back foot, and that's rare. You don't see that too much from Marlon Vera. He kind of steps back and then re-engages. But you could tell Aiemann Zahabi hurt him a couple of times. But yeah, honestly, I think Marlon Vera probably won this fight. I think he probably wins round one, round three. Round two is a bit closer. Round one, based on damage, he definitely didn't outland Aiemann Zahabi. I could give him 2 and 3 though as well, to be fair. I could give 2 and 3 to Vera. I could give 1 and 3 to Vera. Third round's definitely Vera's. Second round's debatable. First round, debatable. But I think either way, Marlon Vera probably should have won that fight. But you know what? props to Eamon Zahabi. He did hang in there. He did outland Marlon Vera. So if we're going for volume over, if the criteria is now volume over damage, then Zahabi wins. But if we're scoring this how we should score this, and it's based on damage, I think Marlon Vera probably should have won that fight. But you know, I regress, as Sean Strickland says. I regress. That's just how the cookie crumbles once again. Marlon Vera losing a split decision. And you know what? It's about time Marlon lost one of these things as well. There's a few times when Marlon's had these kind of close fights where he doesn't do enough to put himself ahead. And he still wins at a split decision. He still wins the unanimous decision where he probably shouldn't have won it. Based on the fact that, like, oh yeah, he only landed 3 shots, but look at how much blood he popped his nose with those 3 shots. And that's way more damage than that guy's 12 shots. So it was kind of a weird... Marlon's always a weird guy to score when it goes to a decision. You really wanted to get one of them late in the 3rd round TKOs, and he went for it, but he just didn't manage to get it. But yeah, so congratulations to Eamon Zahabi. Good split decision victory, I suppose. Went in his favour, so good for him. On to the next one. We had... co-main event, by the way. Mike Malott versus Kevin Holland. Man, Kevin Holland... Kevin Holland, man. Kevin Holland might be getting his own fucking video after this, I'm not gonna lie. Kevin Holland's fucking annoying. Kevin Holland's actually a piss take. Like, just a genuinely irritating fighter to watch. And I like his style as well. I like how he moves. I like how he strikes. I like that he I like his sweeps as well. Like, not a very good ground game. Clearly, everyone knows his ground game is his weakness, but he's not, like, terrible there. He's got good sweeps. He's just not good at not getting taken down. And then once he gets taken down a few times, he gets tired and he doesn't want to try and get up anymore and he gets dejected. But he's got some decent sweeps, like the first time you get him down. That wasn't the issue in this fight. Listen up. Kevin Holland likes to complain that people don't stand with him. Mike Malott stood with him, and Mike Malott beat him up. Mike Malott beat Kevin Holland up standing. Obviously, yeah, there was the fouls in there. Look, the first foul, fair enough. He got like a minute 30 seconds. Okay, fine. We'll accept that. We'll accept that was a foul. Second foul, another groin shot, a knee to the groin. Didn't look like it landed. Looked like it was a clean shot, to be fair, but maybe the shin hit the cup. And so Kevin Holland takes his 5 minutes. Bizarreness. The whole fight bizarre, to be honest with you. Mike Malott not getting a point deducted for 2 groin shots back to back. Bit strange. Whereas, you know, Drew Dober gets a point taken off him immediately for a foul. So a little bit of a strange thing with the thing. There was something was going on with the commission quite clearly. You know, Canada needed some of these wins. Canada needed these, and you know, the commission was going to get them in. It'd been bought and paid for already. But no, I regress. Mike Malott, man. What can I say? He just beat Kevin Holland to the punch. Just outstruck him, to be honest with you. Outstruck him from start to finish. Kevin Holland's going to use the nut shot as an excuse. But to be honest with you, I don't believe it anymore. Like, the first one, he recovered almost immediately from it. He just kind of shook it off and was like, yeah, it was a groin shot. The second one, he milked that to no end. He got 5 minutes, 13 seconds to rest after that groin shot. Like, actually managed to milk some more time out of him. Then, between the rounds, he's complaining, oh, my nuts still hurt. My nuts still hurt. The ref's like, do you want to continue? And he's like, oh, my nuts just hurt. My balls hurt. It's like, bruh, do you want to fight or not? Do you want to stop building fucking excuses? Stop building it. As soon as that first groin shot landed, I thought to myself, right, Kevin Holland's going to lose this fight now. Kevin Holland has checked out. He said, fine, that's good now. I've got an excuse. I can take my foot off the gas. And if anyone questions this loss, oh, I got groin shots and I just couldn't compete after it. And then he takes the second groin shot and he's like, man, maybe I can milk this for some sort of like point deduction or whatever. And I think it did hurt. I think it hurt him a lot. He went down almost immediately from it, and he was definitely hurt from it. I don't think it lasted all the way through to the end of the fight. I don't think it mattered that much. I seen him throwing kicks and being like, oh, my nuts. No, man, no. Because when the fight had first been restarted, he threw, I think it was a body kick, and then he reacted like, ow, that hurt my nuts. And then in the third round, he was throwing fucking head kicks, and there was no reaction to it. And then once the fight slowed down and paced a little more, he was like, ooh, ah. It's like, nah, man, you're milking this shit. You're trying to build an excuse into this loss, and it's not fucking working. So everyone's fucking sick of Kevin Holland shit. He's probably getting a video where I just kind of reiterate what I said over 10 minutes, like what I said just then over 10 minutes. So stick around for that, because that's just going to be me crying into a camera over how much I fucking can't stand Kevin Holland. Fuck Kevin Holland. Anyway, the final fight of the night, Reinier the Riddler versus Brendan Allen. People were saying Reinier the Riddler was the guy to beat Khamzat. My lord, were we wrong. Were we wrong? Brendan Allen. I still don't rate Brendan Allen very highly. I fucking hate Brendan Allen as well. Fuck Brendan Allen. He lost to Chris Curtis. I don't care what anyone says. But Reinier the Riddler, man. How can RDR be training for a 5-round fight and be gassed in the second round? How can you be training for 5 rounds and then gas in the second round? How can you be an elite jiu-jitsu practitioner and burn your fucking legs out by round 2? And from round 2 onwards, at the end of every round, the ref was like, you need to stand up or this fight will end. And he was like, lumbering to his feet. What the fuck are the optics there, man? Stand up. You're in a fight. Don't look like you're beaten in the second round. Brendan Allen, terrible IQ, 0 IQ, immediately ends up on bottom trying to grapple in the first round. And I think that's what it was. I think he just ended up in a bad position straight away. Rounder was like, yeah, I can finish this in round 1. Didn't manage to do it. Burnt out his legs. And then the fight was Brendan Allen's from there. Honestly. And then retiring on your stool as well in the 4th. What? Oh, it's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. I wouldn't show my face in the sport again. I just wouldn't do it. Yeah, I wouldn't. He wouldn't catch me in that octagon ever again. I wouldn't turn up to the gym ever again. I would hand him my fucking ONE FC belts. You know? I wouldn't turn up again. He quit on his stool, man. He quit on his stool because he got tired. He wasn't beaten up. He wasn't like, yeah, okay, he'd taken some shots. He had taken some ground and pound shots, and there was a bit of blood coming from his face. There was a bit of blood coming from his nose, maybe a little cut by his eye. Fair enough. He had taken some damage. He was not rocked. He wasn't wobbled. He wasn't like seconds from being finished at any point in that fight. He just got tired. And then in the 4th round, he was like, 4th going into the 5th, he was just like, I can't do it. My legs are tired. I don't want to do it anymore. So what the fuck, man? Go out there, throw some spinning shit. Throw some flying shit. Throw a fucking rolling thunder. Do something. Go out on your shield. Go and fucking get submitted. Go lose the fight then. It's fine. Go lose the fight. Don't fucking quit on your no mass. No mass. Oh, Brendan Allen fucking lay on top of me for 4 rounds. What, not even 4. Brendan Allen lay on top of me for fucking 2.5 rounds and now I'm tired. I quit. Pathetic. And this was the guy that was going to be Khamzat? Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Fucking embarrassment, man. Fucking embarrassment. Imagine that. I'm not even that big of a Reinier the Riddler fan. Yeah, I just thought it was a fucking disgrace, to be honest with you. Just absolutely embarrassing. I genuinely would not turn up again. I would not turn up to work again. I found a new job. I go work at McDonald's. What the fuck? But that does conclude this video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe for more. Leave us a like. But until next time, keep your chin down and keep swinging. Peace and love. I'll see you around.